Alright, so after the last video, I would imagine that the expected video here was going to be, well, after the last video, the expected video here would have been, like day one of the boss rush or something, right? But actually, it's not. But we're gonna look at the stats here on the sandworm, right? And this may or may not be like an explanation of defense and offense. From my research, although I didn't really do a ton of research on the subject, but I did find some good sources, or a good source, that seemed to basically explain everything pretty well. Or, well enough that I figured it was good enough to use as a source. Anyways, enough of that rambling stuff. Yeah. So enough of that rambling. I will start into it, right? So I tried to script this video out several times and write a script, but then I realized that I'm not capable of reading off of a script while trying to play the game, and I didn't want to voice it over afterwards. Okay. Anyways, so the way it works is offense is effectively you're at the accuracy of an attack. So, like if I look at this thing, tank shell has an offense of 55, so that's basically the accuracy, and that's rolled or measured against the defense stat of any unit. So let's see, and so the formula is defense plus 5 minus offense, and then that equals the chance of the dodge or the deflect. The deflect is where the attack does a gray hit, which isn't like super common, but it's common enough that everyone knows what it is. So if we look at the enemy unit here, it's got a defense of 65, and the tank shell has an offense of 55, machine gun has an offense of 66, so in this case the machine gun, 66 offense versus 65 defense, that's effectively a 4% chance for the machine gun to deflect or dodge, or have the enemy dodge. Now this has an offense of 81, so it's basically never gonna miss or have the enemy dodge. Offense of 55. So we got the offense of 46 on the sandwood burrow attack here. We use it. I mean, it didn't deflect there, but no dodge, no miss. I mean, I'm sure the raptors would be a better thing to demonstrate how attacks can be dodged or missed. And even though the raptors would be a better thing to demonstrate that, I will go and do the raptors right now to actually demonstrate that then, yeah? So we got the raptors, and these guys, they've got 70 defense. And this guy's got 55 defense. So I spawn in the units again. Throw those out there. Then if I use this attack, it's got a much higher chance of actually, you know, being dodged or deflected. I think deflect is a more common outcome than dodge. You know, when I'm actually trying to demonstrate something. There we go. See, it was deflected, and because, you know, 55 offense versus 70 defense on the heck of a game. Okay, I can't use the magnifying glass. We know the Raptor has 70 defense. So we take it, we go 70 defense minus 55 offense. That gives us, you know, a difference of 15. Then we increase the difference by 5 in favor of the defense to get 20, and then that results in 20% to be deflected or dodged by the Raptor. So it doesn't really deflect. Now most attacks for deflect, it does like, you know, 10% of the damage. And according to the source that I found, right, there is, like, the actual dodge stat, it's listed on the wiki, but since it's not listed in game, and in, like, their testing or something, they never actually found, basically the actual dodge stat doesn't play any role on actual gameplay. It's all defense. Whenever you get a dodge, it's just the defense. That's why the veteran, it may say it's got 75 dodge on the wiki, but the real thing that it's got is 105 defense. And 105 defense is really high compared to a lot of units' offense. I mean, again, going off of the tank shell from the Thresher, which has arguably one of the higher offenses on its tank shell of any tank. Alright, you know, 55 offense versus 105 defense. You add 5 to the defense for 110, and subtract 55 for 55. So a veteran has a 55% chance to dodge or deflect, you know, gray hit, graze, whatever you want to call it. There's a 55% chance for a veteran to gray hit on a Thresher tank. I mean, for a Thresher tank to gray hit on a veteran. Well, an R6 veteran, but you know, same difference. See, this got 70 and 56. If I was to go out and go down to the southern frontier in the Heartland and face off against some rebel forces, and I was to put some veterans out here, you know, they got the, you know, 105 defense. What do we got here on the heavy tank? 30. So, you know, realistically, veteran should dodge the heavy tank quite often, if not always. I mean, it's not like, you know, always, but, you know, it's close enough. It's close enough. Again, take the 105 defense, add 5 to that, end up with, you know, 110. Compare that to 30. You know, what's 110 minus 30? That's 80. Meaning that the veteran's got, you know, 80% chance not take any real damage from the heavy tank. So I guess in the end, the only real thing you need to worry about with defense and offense is whether or not you've got enough to, you know, yeah, that is, a super long-winded explanation of something you could look at the source that I'm going to link in the description or in the comment and find out by reading for like, I don't know, 30 seconds. Anyways, that's the end of this video. And first guide video probably fucking sucks. Goodbye.